Scorpio, this is your 2017 tarot reading. We're going to use oracle cards and tarot cards. And keep in mind, this is a general reading. So check out your moon sign, your ascendant sign, as well as your sun sign so that you can broaden your scope on your reading. And if you'd like a private reading that's just for you, you can message me at facebook.com/hippiechicktarot. I'll be happy to talk to you there. Let's get right into your reading. Okay, and your first card is going to be spiritual advice or wisdom. Okay, and I'm using the Fool's Wisdom deck, and it follows the Fool's Journey. And the Fool's Wisdom card that you got is the number 2, the Duty Fool. And it says, the Fool's Wisdom, assume all duties with love in your heart. So it's a pretty good card to get. Okay. And then we're going to pick your influence, how you're going to be, what your influence is going to look like this year to others, how you're acting, what you're doing, what you're thinking, what you're feeling, your vibe. Okay. Let's see which one this is that popped out here. Okay, we got heaven is all around me. Okay. Heaven is a point of view, a state of mind. Heaven is where I feel a communion of love with everything in existence. So a happy place, okay? It's all around you. It's your influence. That's how you're going to be, that's how your vibe's going to feel. That's a really great way to feel. People are going to like that. You're going to be very loved this year. Okay. All right, and your challenge is, it's not personal. Okay, it's making decisions because it's a 7. 25 is a 7. All right, so let's talk about these and then we'll pull some tarot cards, shall we? Okay, so we have heaven is all around me. It says, heaven is a point of view, a state of mind. Heaven is where I feel a communion of love with everything in existence. So you're finding that peace of mind, Scorpio. You're finding peace of mind. That is good news. You know, you're finding that there can be joy in mundane things. You're finding this is your influence. This is how your vibe feels. So it seems like you've turned a lot of positives this past year, Scorpio. And I wanted to say also that with the Duty Fool, where it says assume all duties with the love in your heart, it's like doing it with a happy heart. Okay? So of course, when you're doing it with a happy heart, your vibe is going to feel like happiness all around, right? And how did you do this? What did you change? Here's your challenge. It's not personal. This is going to you. Okay, so your challenge is to not take things so personally, and you like, it's your duty to self, kind of, you know, and once you can get over taking everything so personally and letting it affect you so deeply, because I think some of you, a lot of you are empathic, you feel things very deep, and everything has a reason, and everything gets analyzed, and part of your sign is you let things marinate for a long time. And what that can do to you is kind of tear you up, okay? And wear you down after a while on your nerves. So if you just stop taking everything so personally and realize that everything everyone else says has an emotion, an intention, a feeling behind it, but you don't need to get to the bottom of it all. And sometimes people, you know, just understand that somebody could say something, oh, hey, completely loving to you, you know, and you could take it as, oh, hey, you know, whatever, you know, and it could be, it's how you take it versus, it's like, they could put it out a certain way, and it's up for your interpretation on how you're going to take it. Okay, so it's making a choice. It's not taking things personally. Okay, it's doing everything you do with a happy heart. If you can't do it with a happy heart, you need to take that out of your life and find a way to substitute it with something you can do with a happy heart. Okay, because that's going to make you into this yummy vibe. That's going to be a person who attracts like-minded people and are going to have good relationships. Okay, so let's pull some tarot cards, shall we? Okay. We're going to pull 4 tarot cards, and we're going to go first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, okay? First 3 months, January through March, is Two of Swords. Okay. Oh, okay. We got 5 of Cups for the second quarter for April through June. Okay. We got Death for the third quarter. And that's for July through September. And then October, November, December, 7 of Wands. Okay? All right, let's talk a little bit about these because these are some pretty big cards. Pretty big, pretty big. So first, let me just say, death doesn't mean physical death, okay? There's a lot to be said about it, but don't freak, okay? It's not a bad thing. It's an experience. It's just not what it looks like. So, Two of Swords. So it looks like in January, February, March, you're going to be making a lot of decisions. You're going to be looking at the dualities in your life. You're going to be looking at two ways. For some of you, it's 2 people. Okay, you're stuck. You love 2 people. For some of you, it's the life you want to live and the life everyone else expects you to live. Kind of taking a good look at both of them, deciding what's right for me. For some of you, it's going to be leaving, it's like finding out new truths about your future and getting ready to move forward with your future truths and thus being forced to leave some things you thought were truths before that are untruths in the past. Okay? Choosing to move forward. Choosing to free your mind. Because when there's choice where you can't make a decision on something and something is really causing a pull and it's like a tug of war in your brain, it can really wear you down, okay? And so you have to understand that there's 2 possible scenarios that you can go down, okay? And I think this is basically the tapering in and out of one point in your life and going into a new cycle. And I think that this is like one of those decisions where the 2 cycles are tapering out and in, that you get where you got to kind of make the jump over to the other one and make a decision between 2 of the same thing, one of the old and one of the new, okay? And for some of you, this is going to be a very mental part of the year where you're going to be doing a lot of thinking and playing around with what you attract in your life and playing around with what makes you happy and what you think about how you feel about love. So it's like bringing your thoughts into balance with how you feel about them, trying to decide and decipher your thoughts, trying to process thoughts, okay? When we move into April through June, we have the Five of Cups. So you're deciding to leave something behind. So it looks like you've made your decision. Okay. This could also be, you know, getting that maybe you have this war going on, this war of words or war of thoughts or a war in your own head between yourself, but the whole truth is like a whole nother perspective. There might be something that you don't know yet. Okay, therefore you can't make that decision. You can't jump. This is like the time in which you're stuck in the looming of the decision making, okay, of the not being able to decide. But it looks like April through June, you're going to make decisions. You're going to make decisions with your emotions, with how you feel about what you've been through, your experience, and you're choosing a different experience. So, like we said before, this is like the leap into the new energy. And see, it's followed, I'm not trying to skip ahead, but it's followed by death, which means the end of one cycle, beginning of another, the accepting of new thoughts and new ways of thinking and new ways of being, and releasing of poor choices, guilt, fear, and thought patterns, and you know, things that no longer bring you positivity into your life. Okay, so that's basically what this is too. So this looks like it's going to be something that continues. So thinking about it, feeling into it, making the emotional decision, okay, to leave something behind. This could be a relationship. This could be, you know, a life. You could be moving on and starting a new life. You know, if for those of you who are with somebody who has kids outside, you know, from a previous relationship, you could, in your relationships at question, you could probably be moving on from this relationship, because it looks like if this pertains to you, because this is a general reading, but for those of you this pertains to, you're going to be moving into a different relationship, it looks like. Okay, so there's the end of something, and then the beginning of strength. I believe that in July through September, it's gonna feel like, even though you're going through a lot of changes, and that can bring about some anxieties and some old pattern behavior, and you're gonna have to work through that. It's not gonna be fun. It's not gonna be like a joyride. I think you're gonna find some strength in it, and I think it's gonna make you be able to deal with your future better. Okay? It's like you're gonna go in looking like her, like this, like, you know, girl, or, you know, meek, kind lady, or, you know, and then you're gonna come out looking like her, okay? You're just like ready for battle, right? So that's what's going on with your third quarter here. You have, you know, you might be getting some help. For those of you who have depression and things of that nature, you could be really finding a way out of it, because this could be like it was a looming cycle that you kept circling around, trying to find your answer, but you built these walls, so you built them to keep it in. So it's like this was the end of a cycle that you can't move forward from until you work out these kinks in your head. Whatever this is you're at war with in your head, this could be your past, okay? Whatever this is you're leaving behind, this way of life, this lifestyle, this relationship, this career, whatever it is, you feel strongly about it, you know, but you're making the choice. You're taking the action on the emotion, okay? And that's going to lead to the end of, it's like so much is wound up in whatever this is you're leaving behind, that it is like it has to be an end of a cycle, because it ends the cycle and then a new one, because there's so much tied up in with this that when you take this away, so much has to be started over. Okay, so it's a big thing. And that's probably why it takes so much time just to think about it, make the move, get it done, go into the next thing. And then you have 7 of Wands for your 4th quarter for October, November, December. And what the 7 of Wands tells me is like ending a cycle of always having to fight for everything, even though I told you you're coming out like a warrior. This is also like, don't fight too hard, okay? Don't be like too aggressive, because that will create another cycle you don't want to be in. But this shows very much who you are. You're very, you know, who you've come out of this experience, these experiences as. And there's a lot of emotion tied up in you, but it's kind of nestled away here. This is like a more, this is like beautiful, but so mysterious and dark that you could barely see how beautiful it is. You know what I mean? That's the feeling. So it's feeling like you're really re-emerging and like trying to figure out who you are. But this is also a warning against becoming so tough that all you do is fight with everybody, you know. Because that's all you know how to do because of past experience. So you have to leave the past experience behind, okay? And you have to be able to take what's making you so, you know, have so much conflict and turn it into strength that you can be, use it to do things with a happy heart. You know what I mean? Use it for good. Use it to have someone, you know, this is like when someone looks at you, it's like they see a person who, yeah, she's had some experience, you know, she's lived a little. Where it's not that this woman looks rough or anything, she's gorgeous, but you can tell in like your eyes that you've been there, you know what's up, and you're not going to be played for a fool, you know what I mean? And so that's kind of very much the feeling of the 4th quarter. So it's like you might get some backlash with whatever these changes you're making, these changes to yourself, these changes to your people around you, and the changes in your environment. And you might get a little backlash on that, but you need to keep going and use the strength that you learned here in the 3rd quarter, in the 4th quarter, to carry you on. Because the 7 of Wands, it's like you're not, it's like you're going to become so strong that you just like, it's not going to bother you anymore. Your emotions are going to be more manageable for you than they were here, where I feel like maybe you go through a phase where you were crying a lot, or emotional a lot, or having emotional anxiety a lot, and then here it's kind of like more under control. Okay, and then maybe in the beginning when you're under this indecisive period, you're kind of, you could be like almost like emotionless, like you're more like just in your head, in your mind, okay? And this is kind of like more comfortable with how you feel about it. Once you come to terms with how you feel about your life and what you want to change, then it'll be easier to get through this, okay? But avoiding it won't happen. And don't take things so personal, because if you did, you wouldn't be able to get through this, okay? And she's not taking things personal anymore, you know? She has better control over her emotions. So that was your reading for January and for the year of 2017, actually. And I hope you enjoyed it, Scorpio. We'll see you in February. Bye-bye.